Where's the promo? What's up, George? What's going on in the House of Craze tonight?
In the House of Craze tonight, we have two very talented creators, TD Lang and Mitch Larkins, and they're going to be talking to us about their book called Perspectives. We're also going to be talking about John Hancock's. It's coming up next.
Yo, it's your hand off mine. Let's get it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the Dreamer, Medina, and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch the Craze Podcast. I'm your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and I am with
George the Dreamer Medina. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of Catch the Craze. It is Friday, June 17th, and we are going to be talking to two talented creators today. We're going to be going over their journey, their story. We're also going to have a topic for today that I think is very important. It involves John Hancock, and if you don't know what that is, we will discuss it in a little bit. But if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the channel, give us a like, comment, hit the bell so that you know when we are going live, when we do go live, which is very often. And so what's going on? Sammy, how you doing, my brother? You getting ready for a show? Actually, you would be at a show right now.
right now. Yeah.
Right now. Woo! Oh, yeah.
I'm at the Dallas Fan Expo.
Hey, come see him. Come see
the
him.
Dallas Expo, Fan Expo, Artist Alley booth 1409. So look for the banner that says "There's an alien on my toilet," or the alien that's actually coming out of a toilet on display.
Nice.
So I'll be there. I am there. Whatever. It's gonna be fun.
Whatever.
So this is pre-recorded. So I packed. I bagged and boarded 200 copies of single issue comics for this event. And when I think about my inventory, I'm like, it'd be great to come back with half of it or none of it. I'm looking
It's always nice to go there heavy and come back light.
Yeah.
Although being heavy and getting there and bringing all that stuff in, man, for anybody who's done conventions, you guys already know how much of a pain in the butt the setup day is and the breakdown day. Everything in between is cool. Setup and breakdown, the worst. But yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, and Thursday is gonna be a big day because we wake up. I got the morning brew, with the Crazy Crew, and then I'm heading straight off to the expo to set up my booth because we're gonna do it Thursday. So I'm gonna go set up the booth, and then what I'll probably do is just walk in and see who's there, that's setting up from in Artist Alley or small press publishers, and try to get some 5-10 minute little quick interviews for the show. I'll be streaming occasionally live from the event, directly from my table. But every morning before the show opens, I'll hit up the Artist Alley and I'll pick like 5 indies and just shine a light on them, who they are, what they do, what are they promoting. So I'm looking forward to that.
So all everything that Sam has said has already probably happened. And if you follow us on YouTube, you'd probably see these live streams already because we record in the past for the present, in the future. is how we
Yeah.
roll. Is how
Yeah.
we roll. But yeah, that sounds like fun, dude. I miss doing conventions. I definitely want to start doing them again. Hopefully soon. I mean, I'm going to be at Terrificon. I'm going to be at Terrificon at the end of July. I think that's the last weekend in July. So going to be out there. That's going to be fun. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to be. I don't necessarily have a table. I'm probably going to be at the Darkfire Press booth. So you guys, I don't know what the booth number is yet because we're still don't have any that information yet. But yeah, dude, that's it's fun, man. Hopefully you're doing well. You will be doing well. There's still so it's a 3-day show, right? Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, 3 day
Yeah.
shows, a 3 day event. This is, I think, the biggest one in Dallas. This is, they say 80,000 people in those 3 days. A lot of celebrities going to be there, but that could be a good thing or a bad thing. So, Artist Alley is a big arena. There's about 200 artists in the Artist Alley. So, definitely, hopefully, there's a lot of traffic through there because when I looked at the floor map, you have to walk through the entire event to get to Artist Alley.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
we're at the back of the bus. So hopefully,
Back.
yeah, hopefully they get to the back. Um, but it's gonna be cool. My wife will be there with me, holding it down. So if I have to do any commissions and my head's down, she'll be engaging for me. It's that's always a plus. The small shows I'm always fine by myself, but a show like this, a big show where there's a lot of people, passerbys, it's always good to have a roadie with you, somebody there to support. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But again, if you back the Kickstarter and you're gonna be at the event, come and see me at the table. I'll have a special gift for you just for backing the campaign.
Sam, what campaign are you talking about? What are we going to Indie News and tell them?
Oh my goodness,
Oh
Indie
my
News.
God.
I forgot all about that. Tops in the Bronx. Tops in the Bronx. Vegas,
What is this campaign you are talking about?
campaign, bro. The campaign. It's there's an
Hey,
alien in my toilet. His name is Dudarius Uranus, and so his name is Duty. He's from Uranus, and he crash landed on Earth. If you back issue 1, then he crash landed on Earth, even though he comes off as being the smartest, most intellectual species in the universe, but he just, he's not smart enough to fuel up. So now, issue 2, you're gonna find out what actually makes him tick. So he's engaged by red ants, some rabbit squirrels. The turtle reappears, and then there's a covert operation ops team that's out to track the crash site of the UFO. So he has Agent Doe hot on his trail. He has to get out of the wood and try to survive and find refuge. So this book really, this second issue is really funny. A lot of great stuff in it. So this campaign is live. What's new about this campaign versus the old one? If you haven't heard my spiel, there's a full 24-page activity book. The coloring book is back in this issue. The guidebook to all the characters. The brand new set of trading cards, which is part of the gameplay for next year, is available. There's a graphic T-shirt that's available that wasn't available in the last campaign. There's a whole lot of stuff. So, and if we get to 50 backers, I will be on this show raffling off a shirt. And if and if you came back, if you're watching this show today, Friday, and you go and back it because of this show, all you have to do is tag me on anywhere on social media at Catch the Craze. Let me know you did, and there's going to be a special gift in your reward bag. It's a 3-inch by 4-inch magnet that will go in your bag because you backed it during one of the live stream or the pre-recorded streams and said, "Hey Sam, I saw you on episode number 436, and I backed it." So, this is 437. So, yeah. So, and if you backed One a Duck and you come and you back on this end of my toilet, you'll also get it. So, a lot of good stuff. This campaign ends in 2 weeks. So it's officially 14 days since I've launched the campaign. While we are funded, I don't want to underperform from the last one. We had 86 backers, so at least if we can get to 86 or more, that'll be dope. So, yeah, so I'm excited about that, and in the event.
Yeah, well, listen, underperformance is one thing, but also you got to remember that even though it's $1,000 goal, you're over the $1,000 at this point. You got to remember that Kickstarter takes a little bit of that
They
out
take
of the
the money.
pocket. They take
Yeah.
fees. They take fees. So that's why it's
they work for the
always
government.
better. Yeah, it's always better to have more into that
Yes.
Kickstarter. So that's why you want to make sure that Sammy makes it way beyond, not just because he's going to be giving you more stuff, but also because you want to make sure that there is enough there to produce what's promised. And
Yes.
sometimes when campaigns end, not everything goes through for whatever reason. Cards
Yeah.
expire, people, whatever, change their mind, whatever it is. So make sure that you definitely just, spread the word,
Yes. And
share it out, do
if you're
all
an
that.
indie creator or podcaster and you're trying to promote your campaign or your podcast, I have a special bundle just for you. So you get 4 weeks. So one ad a week on Catch the Craze podcast, a 30-second promo. You create the promo, you send it to us, whether it's a video, audio, or if you just want us to read off a press release each week. You'll get 4 ads on Catch the Craze podcast. Plus, you'll get a copy of issue 2 and the trading cards, all for $35. That is $115 savings because the monthly ads on Catch the Craze is $150. So I decided for this campaign to make it a steal for you guys. So if you're out there and you want to promote your stuff, you can get the copy of the book. Plus, you'll get to be able to promote your show, your Kickstarter, your comic book, whatever it is, once a week on Catch the Craze podcast, and you'll be noticed. It'll be identified as the official sponsor of that episode with a link directing traffic to you. And when we post that episode on all our social media feeds, it'll say sponsored by you. So you get free, you get $115 in savings of promotional advertising on Catch the Craze podcast. Plus, you get to read a funny book and get the trading cards with it as well. So a lot of good stuff. Just let everybody know out there. So I decided to do that. So take advantage of this now because this is only up for 2 more weeks. And then once that is, if you ever want to promote on Catch the Craze, the standard monthly rate is $150 and the single rate is $35. So you're getting 4 weeks for $35, which is a single rate, which is pretty dope. I think I got struck by UFO when I made that decision, but I think it's awesome. I think we had a couple of people already who actually bought that bundle. So yeah. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be good. I'm looking forward, and we crossed the threshold. We got 601 subscribers to the channel, which is fantastic. We're about to hit 100,000 views on the channel, which is crazy. It's funny. We don't have, the thousands of subscribers, but the views are out of control.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. People are tuning in. I mean, there's a lot of talented. Listen, we talk to a lot of talented, undiscovered talent on the channel, and we do it to give them exposure. So, but don't just watch behind the scenes. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well.
Word.
We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So
Word.
601 right now. Let's hopefully get to 700 by the end of the summer. Maybe by the end of the year we reach that 1,000 subscriber mark and see how that goes.
When we hit that 1,000, it's party time. That's going to be a big show.
Yes,
big show.
That's going to be a good show.
Yeah, I want to make it huge live. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, kind sir. I appreciate you. So it's going to be amazing when we hit that 1,000. Number one, several reasons why to get to 1,000. Number one, it'll make it easier because then we can start monetizing the show and cut our losses. But also, start putting links and images on our show that on the YouTube channel that'll promote, because we have some official Catch the Craze gear coming down the road. We got the Patreon coming down soon. So there's a lot of things that we're working on. But yeah, I'm excited about it. And summer's here. And so I'm feeling kind of nauseous.
Not yet, bro. Not yet. I got one more announcement.
You got one more. I don't know. We're trying to hold it in.
Yeah, no, one more announcement. Hold that in. So for those who backed the campaign for the Adventures of Wonder Duck, the funds should be in my account as we speak. It is Friday, and as of Wednesday, everything should have gone through. They, Kickstarter should have, sent everything. But remember, we are in the past.
Did you get the email?
Hopefully I did. So
that's right, because it's Friday.
It's Tuesday. Yeah, so it's Tuesday right now. So I haven't gotten that word, but hopefully by Friday I would have gotten everything. Now it's about sending everything to the printer. Surveys have gone out. You guys have been very good at bringing those things back. So thank you very much. But there are still some out there that I need. So go into your Kickstarter accounts, log in, and then you're going to see a big red, just banner on the top that says, fill out survey or whatever it says. Click on it, fill it out, send it back to me, and that way I'll have your,
I saw your email
information.
70%. I was like, oh, now he's feeling my drama. I saw your emails at 70%.
It's
It takes
there. It's
forever
almost
to
there.
get everybody to react to those
Everybody's
surveys.
got to rally
As soon as I
around.
get it, as soon as I see the alert, I get it done. Bang. Out of the
Dude,
way.
you know what it is? Okay, so I back a lot of campaigns and I want my stuff. So when I get those surveys, I want to make sure that there's no reason why those things aren't coming to me. So definitely make sure, because that's the only way. If we don't have your
I
address,
still have 2 boxes.
that's what I'm saying. If we don't have your address, we can't send you that stuff. You know
from last year, March.
Yeah, right.
2021 March. I have 2 boxes in my closet of people that I try to find them on social media. I stalked them and I couldn't get their address. And instead, I know one day that they're gonna say that jerk off Sam the Crazy Man Vera never sent me my stuff. But that's why I have a paper trail. I sent like 5,000 emails and I tagged them and I couldn't get no response. I'm like, all right, whatever. It's still there. I'm not taking that out of the box because I know one day someone's gonna say, hey, where's my stuff? So I'm leaving it there.
Yeah. So make sure that get your stuff. So fill that stuff out, especially if there's an address I have to send something to. So if you have like a physical tier, most of my digital tiers have already responded. Yeah. A lot of them actually. I think I'm missing like maybe one. But it's the physical tier. So make sure that you do, because there are questions in there like, do you want the book signed, not signed? There are different things. So definitely. Anyway, now I think we're done. Sammy, you good? Oh.
Let's do it.
Time for your medicine.
What's your John Hancock? Get your hand. All right, go ahead.
Why you gotta be dirty, bro? Why you gotta be
I didn't say anything. I say nothing.
John Hancock. So
let's
quick little history lesson for those who may not know, right? John Hancock, he was president of Congress when the Declaration of Independence was adopted and signed, and his signature was the largest or the biggest signature on the paper.
Pretty fancy.
Very fancy. And it was said that the reason why he signed it so big was that so that King George could read it without his spectacles. That's what they don't think that's true, but that's what he was doing. It's also it's funny enough is like that signature isn't actually on the paper. It was actually signed on another piece of paper and it was superimposed onto the Declaration of Independence.
Look at that.
But sometimes you'll hear like older, cats. Myself, sometimes I use it. Hey, put your John Hancock right here. Sign this document. Put your John Hancock.
Have you ever seen mine? It's not fancy at all.
So check it out. So I was watching, and you were watching this too, because you had for those who don't know, the Crazy 10 or Less on Mondays. It is on the channel right now. But you were talking about Jim Davis. Yeah, and Jim Davis. And then I started looking at his signature, and his signature is very, very legible. Jim Davis, you can see it. Then I started looking at other people whose signatures are very legible. Walt Disney, right? Charles Schultz. You look at Todd McFarlane in comics, Jim Lee in comics. These names of these artists that we know, and we know who they are, and we know what they worked on. And the reason why we know that is because their signatures are very legible on anything they do.
Word.
And so I remember I was at a convention. I forget, this was years ago. And the reason why I signed the way I sign my books so that you can read it is because somebody once told me, you want to make sure your signature is legible. They know who it is, who did this work. Word. And so for those young up and coming, creators and artists and things like that, make sure you have, it doesn't have to be fancy. It really doesn't. I mean, if you look at some of these guys' signatures, Schultz is just Schultz, but you know who that is. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Peanuts, you know what
like
I mean?
Jobs. You don't even have to say Steve. Just say Jobs.
One name. Yeah, it's like Prince.
That's it, bro.
But yeah, so make sure that you sign, that you have a signature that's illegible and that it's on everything you do, man.
Yeah.
Sammy, you're working on yours? What's up? You're working on yours or what?
Well, mine is just an SV. It's my initials. Wow. I know. And so anybody can forge it, right? So that was what came to mind. Yeah, because anytime I signed the book, I just put SV because I'm lazy. right? And so I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to sign my signature. Hell no, you know how long that takes. So especially if you had an event, I'm like,
So now let me ask you a question though. What would you sign, Samuel Vera, or would you sign Sam Vera?
Samuel. I'll say my full name, Samuel.
You would. Oh, you gotta give him the government. Why not just Vera?
Government cheese.
You're gonna give him that government name. Why not just Vera? Vera.
Yeah, that might be
Like
nice.
Schultz. I mean, it's nice, four quick letters. Then you gotta practice, bro. You can even make that V kind of cool too, with like a check mark. Like you can really mess. And that's the thing. Like get creative with your signatures, guys. Like have some fun with them.
I got a headache just thinking about it, right? Because I was like, oh man, now I got to try to make it look dope. Because when I looked at some of these cat signatures, they're pretty fancy, and I'm like, and I was like, mine looks like a doctor who doesn't have time for the patient. Right?
That's the other thing, bro. Yeah, we're not doctors here. We're not. You know what I mean? You can't. It's got to be legible. People need to be able to read that when it's coming. Oh, that's a Sam Vera piece.
You know what I realized also is that on the certificate of authenticity for the books, I sign my full name. But when I sign the book, I just put SV. So that there's a discrepancy there, right?
Yeah.
And then I realized, wait, Sam, if people are gonna go get things appraised or whatever it is, certified, they're gonna want to check. So I did.
In the private chat, Samuel. Nice. Sound Kryptonian and stuff.
Yes, I know, right? So I was like, all right, so I have to have some consistency. So it's something I'll think about this weekend. I'm gonna try some things when I'm at the table. But I had to figure it out because I want something that's going to be easily recognizable. I just realized that. We talk about branding. That's a way of branding yourself. But I never gave it any thought until that episode and we had that conversation yesterday.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh,
it's
okay.
Important. See, I have two signatures. One signature for when I sign documents and stuff like that, and
the other one for the IRS.
And the other one for when I sign books. No, the book one is different than the IRS one. The IRS one is very different. You can't read my signature when the IRS is reading it, but you can read it when people are coming to the table to get a signature for my book. Because it's important. Yeah, I think people need to see who, you work so hard on these books. You put all that blood, sweat, and tear, and now the very last thing is your signature, and you're gonna skip out on it? No bueno, my friend. No bueno.
I know. I didn't really think about it until because I've been watching a lot of like docuseries of all like the masters that came before us. And I overlooked that whole piece because I was so fascinated by his stories. So
their stories are fabulous.
Yeah. I'm like, the stories are just brilliant. And
but if you look at all of those, I bet some of the guys that you like I forget the creative Calvin and Hobbes. If you look at his signature, it's legible. If you look at all of them. And I think part of it is because they were comic strip artists, and
Bill Watterson.
for the most part, comic strip artists do have a very legible signature in all their comic strips.
Yes,
and so very important.
The ultimate collection of Calvin and Hobbes right here.
Yeah, you need to open that up.
All 4 volumes, bro. Yeah. I did open it. I didn't take all the plastic off. Okay. This thing weighs like 500 pounds.
Yeah, see you. Look at you. You're struggling. You're struggling.
Yeah, but it's like. Like Calvin and Hobbes, Jeff Smith, he has a nice signature too. Bone,
all of them. Look at all of them, man. All of them. Like for me, I've always been Walt Disney fan. Walt Disney, his signature is his logo. I mean, you got to talk about branding. His signature is the logo for the company.
I would have just had a stamp that had silhouette of the ears. That was it. Dunk. Yeah. That's the signature. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating. What are your thoughts? If you have any feedback on this or input, put it in the comments. Let us know. If you'd like us to bring it up on the Morning Brew, let us know. We'll bring it up. But I think it was a good topic. I think we're going to cut to commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to bring our guests in, Tim T.D. Lang and Mitch Larkins. I got that right.
All right.
So just a reminder that you can actually. If you know what we talk about subscribing to the show, I'm not going to tell you to subscribe. I'm going to let our previous guests tell you.
It's Monty Moore. I'm a 30-year comics veteran in comics, games, and movies, and you've been watching one of my absolute favorite podcasts, Catch the Craze.
You are watching Catch the Craze.
What am I listening to?
And you're listening to Catch the Craze.
Where are all the indies at?
A Catch the Craze podcast.
What are you watching?
I'm watching Catch the Craze.
What are you gonna do?
Subscribe now to Catch the Craze, the #1 show online for independent.
Have you subscribed to?
If you are an independent, catch the craze. Making moves on your own, catch the craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the craze. Join the movement, catch the craze.
Welcome.
Nice. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
I'm good.
Awesome. Thank you guys for being on the show. I know you guys are in a whole different time zone. What time is it over there where you guys are? TD, what time is it?
It is 4:25 for me.
AM.
AM or PM?
AM.
PM.
Oh, thank God.
There's
Okay.
sunshine coming through.
Oh, good. What about you, Mitch? What time is it over there? Are you guys in the same area?
Your mic is muted.
I'm so sorry. My bad. It's 1926 here.
What is it?
7:26 p.m.
That is military time.
You're good.
Yeah,
you're
that's
good,
right.
You're good.
We got somebody that can actually speak English here with the military time. Good.
Yeah. I thought you said 19 for us. I mean, I thought you said 9.
Yeah.
No, I thought you said 9:17.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But yeah, no. So what's going on, guys? How's everybody feeling today?
I'm pretty good.
Awesome. I love the energy.
I pulled like a 16-hour shift yesterday, so I am out there right now.
I love the video games.
Can't party like I used to.
Those game consoles actually work.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah.
These? Oh yeah. They're from the arcade 1-up. I wasn't sure if I should like turn them on and let them run, but everybody would be distracted then, with all the flashing colors.
See those until just now.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty sweet.
That's cool, man.
I just moved into this house, so like you see a mess behind me. I've got like the Lego Mario stuff. Half my statues and figures are in boxes still.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, it's a pain. It's rough.
Yeah, my garage still has my boxes of all my books and a lot of my figures. I moved in last August.
Oh, jeez.
Damn, jeez, holy cow. So guys, real quick. So for those who are watching, thank you guys for coming on. And for those who are watching the show and maybe don't know who TD Lang is or Mitch Larkins, and just briefly tell us a little bit about yourself. Just introduce yourself to the audience.
So I am an independent, or actually I am a staff writer for an independent film company over in LA. I've had that job I've been with that company, I should say, for a couple of years now. I write mostly scripts, most of which have not really been published yet because, we're still a new company and we're still cranking out our first feature. And I went to college for a theater degree, moved all over when I was a kid. Happy to be here, man.
Nice, awesome. What about you, Mitch?
Well, I don't have such a cool background. My background is like in like signal and communication stuff, but I've been passionate about comics and writing for years. I published my first book when I was like 21 basically on a dare to write something. I kind of dropped out for a little while, and then a few years ago, somebody had a like a charity anthology series starting up. I was like, let me see if I could write anything, if anybody would like it. Mine got selected, so then I started writing more short stories, and I've written a few more novels since then, and that's where I'm at right now, just trying to juggle hobbies and actually writing.
Awesome, bro. And you said you just recently moved. Where did you grow up with, and where did you move to, if you don't mind?
Yeah. So I'm from Florida originally. You wouldn't expect it with this accent, right? You'd think Georgia or Texas or something.
True.
But yeah, I'm a Florida boy, and I've moved up north, to Pennsylvania. So I'm actually getting to deal with snow and seasons.
Oof.
It's amazing. It's like going into Narnia or something. You're like, and then the goat men attack you. It's less fun, but
Nice.
Oh man. And TD, you moved around as well. Where did you grow up with? Like, what was that like? Where you grew up with? When did you get into comics and those kind of things?
So my family moved 5 times before I turned 18. So I lived in Nevada, Utah, California, as well as Australia and Canada, all before I finished high school. So really not from anywhere in a genuine sense anymore. A little bit of everything, but not really calling any particular place home except maybe Australia, oddly enough, because I lived there about 5 years. But yeah, I got into comics when I was about 13 years old, and it was 2002. That first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie just came out, and that was my guy. And I was so happy about that movie, and I loved it so much I wanted to read the comics.
Okay. So you weren't an Amazing Spider-Man fan before the movie.
I liked the 90s cartoon show.
Yes, there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
So that was kind of like, and that show was also just like a really good introduction to Marvel Comics in general, because they were always plugging like, oh, Captain America did a guest star. Oh, Punisher. Oh, Daredevil's here now. You know.
Yeah.
So if you watch that show, you know most of the Marvel characters.
That's true. That's true. Mitch, which was the comic book that did it for you, man? What got you hooked?
Oh man. So I got the comics when I was like 4 or 5, but I'm from a one traffic light town, so I had to buy them at the grocery stores.
Wow.
Back in the day. So I've read the old Sonic the Hedgehog stuff.
Cool.
Spider-Man. I've got a lot of Spider-Man, or I had a lot. I lost in a torrential downpour.
Man.
Yeah, I lost so many great things. Spider-Man 2099. If we're gonna stick on Marvel a lot. Superman. I've always loved Superman. You know, these days I'm trying to get to the more independent stuff. Common America. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Atomic Robo. Things like that, and even manga and stuff more these days.
Okay. Yeah. Manga's taken over, man. I feel like, and it's been around. It's not that it's like new. It's been around for a while, but I feel like there's just so many kids are just reading that.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
If you go, when you go to the bookstore, anybody who still does, when I go to like Barnes and Nobles or whatever, you just see the aisles. The kids are all sitting down, just reading the stuff.
It's insane. Do you guys feel like that's a trend, or do you think it's going to keep going? How do you guys feel about the whole manga movement? I guess I'll start with you, TD.
I haven't followed the manga movement. Like, I'm in my little bubble where I'm like, I'm rereading League of Extraordinary Gentlemen right now. I don't know anything about
a good
manga.
one though.
Yeah,
and I also missed the boat with manga and anime, where I feel like you need to get into that when you're a teenager, and I didn't. So nothing against it. I just don't really understand it, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. What about you, Mitch?
So I got in it. I'm going to show my age if my gray isn't doing it, but the original Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind came out when I was a kid as Warriors of the Wind. That will show you the original dubbing that I've seen. But manga I think Mr. Davis missed the perfect foothold right when like DBZ and stuff really took off over here.
DBZ,
but the big thing about manga, as opposed to something like Marvel Comics, is like, which run of Spider-Man or Batman do I get into? You're like, okay, well, you got to hit the 50 stuff and the 60 stuff. Oh, you got to make sure that you get the short story arc where Spider-Man fought Juggernaut trying to protect Madam Web, or the Dark Phoenix saga. With manga, it's like, okay, you just start at volume 1, dude, and then you go until it ends.
Right.
Also, and indies are doing this a lot these days, is that manga, there's any genre out there. One of my favorites growing up, even though I didn't really play football, was I Shield 21, which is just about an American football team in Japan, or at least they were a fan club of it. And so they were trying to get Japanese people to play football through it. The guy that draws One Punch Man, if you're familiar with that, drew that. So it was very actionized, very stylized and stuff. So you could pick anything. There's plenty of romance ones out there, horror ones. As opposed to, the mainstream comics where it's just superheroes mainly. Of course, you've got your Leagues of Extraordinary Gentlemen out there, but how many people would pick that up, casually? That one's, not to sound presumptuous or anything or pretentious, it feels like it's more refined than your average Spider-Man comics. Obviously, there's some very good ones getting out there, but that's how I feel. It's easier for casual people to get into.
No, it's true. But guys, so we're here to talk a little bit about the book that you guys are both in right now. You guys are both writers who have stories and perspectives in anthology, or did any one of you did both, right? And do the artwork? Just we'll start with you, Mitch. Are you the writer on a story? Or are you a writer and an artist on a story? How did that work out?
So I try to get into art, but I'm unfortunately not talented enough for it. So I'm stuck with writing. But yeah, I have a short story in perspectives, and amazingly enough, for some reason they picked my first story to be the first one in the book.
Oh, cool.
So I don't know if they put their best foot forward or they're like, hey, this is the weakest one. And it gets better towards the
Let's
end.
get rid of that one. Let's get that one out of the way.
Let's get him out of the way. But yeah, I've got a book in perspectives. That was the second anthology a book I was in, and I was trying to write something for horror, and just the idea of perspectives was really interesting to me. So that's what my story focuses on, is how your perspective can shift in a way. That's not the overall theme of it, but that's one of them.
Awesome. And what about you? Whatever you, TD, did you do both, or were you the writer on it, and then somebody else drew the artwork?
Yeah, there's a lawnmower or something going outside of my apartment, so I was muted. Sorry if that's coming through too loud, but
fine. No, you're good.
But no, the anthology is all just short stories. So I just did a short story, and the only real artwork on it is the front cover. But yeah,
Okay.
a couple of my colleagues at the studio I work at were on a podcast with Paul Hayden, who is the publisher of ASAP Imagination, and he asked us if we were interested in contributing a short story to the anthology, and we were like, yeah. And so, rest is history, I guess.
Nice. So the anthology is all prose. It's short stories. There's no artwork. Okay, that's okay. Got
So what was it about the theme that intrigued you?
I guess it's just that we all have a unique point of view and all that. Well, I guess I didn't really think of the title so much when I was writing it. I was just like, what's a good story to contribute more than anything else? And ultimately, I think it did tie in pretty well with the overall theme of the anthology.
Gotcha. So let's talk a little bit about what each one of your stories is about. If you guys want to share, what is the story that you wrote, TD? Like, what's that story about? What is the short story that you wrote?
So the short story I wrote is called "The Surprises Never End." At the time, my pseudonym was Tim Davis, but I've since decided to go with TD Lang, since whatever. Long story there that's not that interesting when you get into it, but whatever. The story is about, it takes place in kind of a dystopian future that's kind of gone backwards, where it's more rural, kind of like the Old West than what you might expect the future to be. Mm-hmm. And the main character is a boy living in a town, and he is one of the people who's gifted with the knowing, where he can see parts of his own future, and he knows what's going to happen down the road in his life. Motorcycles. And it's about how it's really kind of a crappy thing that he has to live with, knowing what's going to happen to him down the line, and how he learns to live with it, and how he's sort of not fitting in because of the knowledge that he has. And yeah.
That sounds interesting, man. That's cool stuff. What about you, Mitch? What's the story that leads off the book? What's that about?
So it's called Running Away. It's about, exactly that. It's about a girl running from a threat. She's running through the woods scared. I can't, so much of it relies on twist, because it was my first attempt at a horror perspective, that I kind of have to leave it at that if you're interested. But I feel like it's got a good twist in it. Nice. But that's what it was kind of about, is like how my attempt was, how can I get readers to empathize and fear for this girl with a lack of description, and what was the bare minimum I could tell them at first before, and slowly reveal, within the short stories are 5 or 6 pages long, so you have to hit people hard and fast usually, but I wanted to see what I could do about dragging it out.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting, man. And listen, both stories sound like there's so much we can dive into in individually. Unfortunately, we would be here, I think, for like a couple of hours if we did that. But I want to talk a little bit about the charity. So I know that you guys got involved with the book Perspectives, and there's a charity behind the book. So tell us a little bit about the charity for the book. And TD, I'll start with you. Like, or I'll ask you the question. So what's the charity here?
So it's the Dyspraxia Foundation UK, and Paul Hayden, P.A. Hayden, his one of I believe he only has one son, but his son has dyspraxia, so it's a cause near and dear to his heart. And dyspraxia is I believe it's a neurological condition in which I think I heard Paul describe it as it's kind of like the navigation system in your brain is a little off, where you sometimes have trouble with like movement and coordination and stuff like that. And it also tends to have, sometimes there's issues with overstimulation, like being around a lot of people, a lot of noise, stuff like that, where it's a bit overwhelming for the people who have it. And it can sometimes go along with other conditions and whatnot as well. And just all proceeds are going to that foundation, which is really cool. And especially grab the Perspective Anthology from anyoneworld.com. Digital download, super easy. You get it right away.
Yeah, we'll throw that link up in the show notes. And for those listening, Any One World is the letter E, the number one world.com. So yeah, we'll throw that on there for you guys. And then Mitch, so as far as your work and what you guys will be producing beyond Perspectives, right? What do you have going on, Mitch? What's some of the stuff that people can be looking out for you?
So, Mr. Hayden actually was really cool enough in one of our chats. He found out that I was writing a side series called Wild World, a lit RPG series inspired by RPG video games, along with, again, manga and light novels, Konosuba and Overlord. And my time trying to learn how to play World of Warcraft with my friends have been playing it for 15 years. I tried to jump in like 2 years ago. I said, I don't know if I can handle this. So he was really interested about picking that up. So I'm going to be reissuing those books out through Any One World.
Oh, cool.
It's basically about two people that come that run into each other. One's a complete noob into the adventuring world, and the other is this legendary hero, and she's trying to show him the ropes, and putting up with his antics for the most part, and just their travels throughout the universe. But I also have an upcoming horror dark fantasy called Grave Vengeance, where a group of friends decide to try to make a deal with the devil by sacrificing another friend so they can get fame and fortune. But unfortunately, the sacrifice has other plans, and she decides to come back and show them the error of their way, so to speak.
Nice, bro. Nice. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you guys are gonna have to come back individually, and we're gonna have to deep dive into some of the dark things in your head. But TD, what do you got going on, brother?
So the two things that are hopefully coming out later on this year are kind of linked. The first screenplay I wrote that was produced as a feature-length film, Rocky's Galaxy, hopefully that will be along, and we haven't sold it yet, but knock on wood. So hopefully that will be along later on in the year, and I will be able to plug it and let you know where you can see it. We also have a tie-in comic because there's a comic. The main character in Rocky's Galaxy writes a comic book, and my boss at the studio was like, "Hey, what if we actually wrote that comic book?" So there's going to be the comic book, Lori's Completely Mundane Adventures in Space, published.
Was that a take for Muppets?
I think it's more of a Mel Brooks reference.
Okay. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. No, but listen, guys. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have written in perspectives, and anybody watching should go to anyoneworld.com. And you said you can either buy the physical copy, or you can buy a digital download. Is that how it's working?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Paul wanted us to especially plug those digital downloads because
not only that, but he's got an app too. So
Oh.
you can order and download through that app, and it's actually, a pretty legit app. I wouldn't say that if I didn't actually use it, and I actually enjoy it.
Oh, sweet. So is the app available like on the App Store specifically, or all platforms? You pretty much can download it.
I believe I got it through at least Google Play. I'm sorry, I kind of just threw that one out there, so I didn't have it prepared for anything. But yeah, he seems like if it's not available, I'm sure he will have it. That dude works 27 hours a day. So if it's not available for your mobile, it will be.
Yes. Well, guys, listen. Like I said, you guys need to come on the show. We'll have you individually. We'll talk shop. You guys have, I'm sure, incredible stories that you still have to tell. So please make sure that you definitely come back. And thank you so much for coming on, man.
Hey, thank you for having me, and I'm going to speak for him, Mr. Lang, at the same time. But thank you for having us both. But next time, can we have some snacks backstage? I'm a big fella. I gotta have something to munch on.
This is how it starts, Sam.
Hey, we could have snacks if we could play those video games. I'm just saying.
Anytime, it's 4-player plus, man.
Awesome. Is that a 3D printer?
Snack. I don't need more.
Is that a 3D printer on the side?
Oh yeah, I said my wife made me get a 3D printer too. So
I'm looking at everything. I'm like, what? This guy's got it all.
Dude, if I had
I'm working on it. I don't have everything yet, but y'all buy more books. And then I'll be able to have another.
There you go. Yeah, make sure you buy some books, guys. Go to anyoneworld.com and download or buy or physical copies of. Are you guys going to be at any shows, or are you guys doing any conventions or anything like that where people can maybe get signatures from you guys?
No, I don't think I am actually.
Okay.
I haven't planned on it yet.
All right.
No.
All right. Well, maybe coming soon.
Yeah, I've kind of fallen into a routine where I don't leave my apartment that much.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I've got all this stuff here. Of course, I don't want to leave.
Yeah, no, you got it all there, bro. Like, you could print new friends. It doesn't even matter.
I'm gonna call you Bobby.
But guys, thank you so much for coming on, man. We'll definitely do a more extended version of these conversations. But thank you again for coming on. I appreciate you guys.
Excellent. Thank you too, man.
Yes, and thank you for the support, Mitch.
Hey, anytime, man.
Appreciate
working together.
You got it, buddy.
Yes,
See you
indeed.
soon.
All right.
So that was
Awesome.
the Mitch Larkins and Tim Davis, TD Lang. Great group of guys.
Awesome.
Fantastic. They're doing their job, right? They're creating great content, having fun doing it. Check out, the link will be in the summary. All you have to do is, if you want to visit their work, get a copy of their work. It's there. It's good charity that they're supporting, which is pretty fantastic. Pretty awesome.
All proceeds go to it. Like, they're not pocketing any of that. All proceeds go to that. So definitely check it out. And like Sam, I mean, we have to have them back. You know what I mean? Individually, because those guys, they definitely have really cool stuff. I mean, some of the concepts for these stories that they threw into the anthology. Very interesting stuff.
Yeah. I think that's a project we'll be on down the road.
It's a project, with Paul. He's working on something. Yeah.
So,
give Paul a follow. ASAP Imaginations.
ASAP Imagination. He's doing his thing, big things. I mean, they post every day. I thought I was a post whore, but they got me beat.
Paul does his thing.
They got me beat.
He does his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was awesome.
Yeah, that was another great episode. And again, if you haven't done so already, guys, subscribe. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Pandora or iHeartRadio, head over to YouTube channel and subscribe to the channel, because when we grow, the indie community grows. And if Spotify is your streaming platform of choice, give us a rating, 4-star rating. Put a comment. Why do you listen to Catch the Craze? We'd love to hear your feedback. Share it with a friend, subscribe, it goes a long way for us. And again, if you're at the Fan Expo today, come over to my table, booth 1409. Look for the green alien coming out of the toilet. That'll be me and Duty hanging out.
Wow.
And yes,
hanging
yes.
out. Nice.
And for everybody out there, if you haven't done so already, please check out the campaign on Kickstarter. There's an Alien on My Toilet issue number 2. And if Kickstarter is not your platform of choice, then at the end of this campaign on Kickstarter, I'll be running a 2-week campaign on Indiegogo, which is the catch-up campaign for all the Indiegogo supporters who refuse to go to Kickstarter. And you'll be able to get issues 1 and 2 on Indiegogo in the month of July, because this ends the 30th. So July 1st is when the Indiegogo campaign will launch. And you can, if that's your platform of choice, you can still get the books there. So anything from you?
No, that's it. Just make sure, guys, you fill out those surveys. Make sure I get them, because I'm going to start, printing things out and start sending things to you guys. The sooner you get that to me, the easier it'll be, and the quicker you'll get your stuff. So do that. Do that stuff.
And the crazy man, Vera.
George the Dreamer Medina.
We are out.
It's just easy. It does not.
Acquiesce. No, it's about my friend Acquiesce. I met him. Say my name, right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh, my.
He described me. He said, I'm the
What? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.